4 stages of human development. So the part 4 of our report is the adolescence. So the question here is, what is adolescence? Adolescence is the phase of life between childhood and adulthood from age 10 to 19. It is a unique stage of human development and an important time for laying the foundation of good health. Also, adolescents experience rapid physical, cognitive, and psychosocial growth. We have the three development transition of adolescence. The first one is adolescence as a social transition. It is not defined as physical or biological category. As it stated, it is a social construction. And also, the concept of this adolescence is in a sense of made up by culture. So the second one is adolescence, a time of opportunities and risk. It offers opportunities for both advances and risk growth in cognitive and social competence, autonomy, self-esteem, and intimacy. And also, adolescence is a time of risk and more people face hazard to their well-being, including death from accident, homicide, and suicide. So the third one is the globalization of adolescence. It is cultural change. We know that cultural change is complex and it can be both liberating and challenging. We have the main type of physical development in adolescence. This is the puberty. As you can see in the picture, when we were young, it is our physical appearance is not the same when we grow older. Puberty, it involves traumatic biological change. These changes are part of a long, complex process of maturation that begins even before birth, and their psychological ramification may continue into adulthood. Puberty can be broken down into two basic stages, the adrenarche and the gonadarche. So the adrenarche occurs between age 6 and 8 years old. The adrenal glands secrete increasing level of androgens, most notably the hydroepiandrosterone. The gonadar, marked by maturing of sex organs, which triggers a second burst of DHEA reproduction. Also, the adrenarche, it is the start of your growth of pubic hair, like also the axillary, which is the underarm facial hair, and also it is contributes to faster body growth, oilier skin, and the development of body odor. And the gonadar, maturing of the sex organs, girl ovaries increase their input of estrogen, which in turn stimulate the growth of female genitals, like breast and the development of pubic and underarm hair. And also in the boys naman, the testes increases their input of estrogens, especially testosterone. This increase leads to the growth of male genitals, muscle mass, and also the body hair of the boys. We have the three sexual maturity and sign puberty. The first one is primary and secondary sex characteristic. So the primary sex characteristic refers to change to sexual organs themselves, like the uterus, vagina, penis, and testes. So in this one, the primary sex characteristic during this puberty organs enlarge and mature, while in the secondary sex characteristic refers to the other visible changes that mark adult maturation, such as changes in height and body shape. Also, nag-change po din hiya ang ato ang voice and also our skin. So the second one is sign of puberty. The sign of puberty include growth of public hair, other body hair, and facial hair, enlargement of testicle and penis, muscle growth spurt, acne, and deepening of the voice. Mahalata naman natin na dito sa adolescence, umiiba yung ating boses. While yung bata ka pa, iba yung boses mo, at saka pag nag-adolescence ka na, biglang kasagaran ani is katong mga lalaki like kanang murag may buo na bitaw ilang voice. So the third one is the adolescent growth spurt. During this adolescence, the body usually experiences a growth spurt, which is a time of very rapid growth in height and weight. Na ay mga adolescents na matingala na lang ka na, hala, nitaas naman na siya. Hala, anong kuan naman siya, hala, nitambok na siya, ganun ba? O, dinhi na nimong makita. The physical and mental health in adolescence. We have two, the depression and death in adolescence. Depression. The prevalence of depression increases during adolescence. Depression in young people does not necessarily appear as sadness. Makita nimo siya pag irritable ang isa ka person, nasa boredom ang isa ka tao, or inability to experience pleasure. The second one is death and adolescence. Death this early in life is always tragic and usually accidental, but not entirely so. Like death result from motor vehicle crashes, other unintentional injuries, homicide, and suicide. Kay in adolescence, kasagaran mga tao like kanang na bitaw sila adto na sila sa laing lugar, like dili na sila bitaw sa balay lang. So possible na ang ilahang death is nasa motor vehicle crashes or other unintentional injuries. Our part 5 of this report is the adulthood, early and late. So what is adulthood? Adulthood, the period in human lifespan in which full physical and intellectual maturity have been attained. There are three main stages of adulthood. Early adulthood, 18 to middle 30s, middle adulthood, middle 30s to middle 60s, and late adulthood, middle 60s to death. Early adulthood. We have the physical development in early adulthood. Health and fitness. Young adult and passively in United States generally enjoy the benefits of good health, but they increasingly suffer from the range of health-related risks tied to modern lifestyle. Physical changes in early adulthood include reaching of full height and weight, muscle gain, and a slight increase in body fat. Early adulthood also peak in physiological functioning as they experience increased muscle strength, reaction time, agility, bone density, and cardiac functioning. Second one is the sexual and reproductive issues. Sexual and reproductive activities are often a prime preoccupation of emerging and young adulthood. These natural function may involve physical concern. So, nakasunod rin sa atong health and fitness and adulthood and early adulthood is health status and health issues, mental health problem. During this health status and health issues, during this period, the foundation for lifelong physical functioning may continue to be laid. Health may be influenced by genes, that behavioral factors, what young adults eat, whether they get enough sleep, how physically active they are, and whether they smoke, drink, or use drugs. While in our mental health problems, for most emerging adults, mental health and well-being improve and problem behaviors diminish. Mental illness, also called mental health disorders, refers to a wide range of mental health disorders that affect your mood, thinking, and behavior. These emerging adult transition bring an end to relatively structured years of high school because we were in high school in this time. The freedom to make life decision and change diverse path is often liberating, but the responsibility to rely on oneself and to become feminist, self-supporting can be overwhelming. So here we are and sexual and reproductive issues. We have the three sexual and reproductive issues. Sexual behavior and attitude. These attitudes manifested in a person's individual sexual behavior. Um, ma-influence din mo siya or makuha mo siya sa family and cultural perspective about sexuality or sa sexual education and also the prior sexual experience. Pero kasagaran diri guys, makuha nila ang ilahang manifested in person's individual sexual behavior kaysa ilang prior sexual experience. Sexually transmitted infection, which is the STI. This one is makuha ni mo siya na disease if you have a contact on that person. Dili lang kay pod kay nag-contact mong duha, makakuha na rin ka og STI. No. If that person have an STI, and then nagka-contact mo na person without using a protection, possibly you have a sexually transmitted disease. Here we go to menstrual disorder. Menstrual disorder, my experience ni siya sa girls, of course, like dysmenorrhea, premenstrual syndrome, and that one. Foundation of intimate relationship in early adulthood. Friendship. Friendship is in early adulthood are often less stable than in either adolescence or later adulthood. Many young adulthood manage to maintain high quality committed long distance relationship, sometimes using social networking sites to keep in touch across geographical distance. Friendship in emerging adulthood show developmental change. Young single adults tend to rely on friendship to fulfill their social need more than young married adult or young parents. Over the course of adulthood, the number of friends and the amount of time spent with them gradually decreases. Presumably, as leisure time decreases, the responsibility to other increases. Still, despite spending less time on them, friendship remain important to young adults. People with friends tend to have sense of well-being, although it isn't clear if friendship causes well-being, or if people who feel good about themselves have an easier time making friends. So we have the marital and non-marital lifestyle in early adulthood. We have three: single life, marriage, and parenthood. Here we go, and middle adulthood. Physical development and middle adulthood. Sensory and psychomotor functioning. Most middle-aged adults compensate well for gradual minor declines in sensory and psychomotor abilities, including such a age-related condition as presbyopia and presbycusis. Increases in myopia and loss of endurance due to slowing of basal metabolism, losses in bone density and vital capacity or common. From young adulthood through the middle years, sensory and motor change are almost imperceptible until one day a 45 years old man realized that he cannot read and telephone directly without eyeglasses. Or a 60 years old woman has to admit that she is not as quick on her feet as she was. With increasing age, it is common for adults to experience a variety of perceptual declines, including hearing and visual difficulties. Physical and mental health and middle adulthood. behavioral influence on health. The behavioral patterns that young adults set will affect them in middle age and beyond. So what do you mean by this? One, of course, ang behavioral patterns nag-set nato when we were in young, ma-affect gina siya sa ato in middle age. Kay if possible nga kanang luwagan kayo ka atong imuhang kanang young adult, also risky pod ka when you are in middle age. But if yaya ka dito sa imong young adult, also ang imuhang lawas ana is maglisod jud when it comes to physical activities. Stress and middle age. Stress is the damage that occurs when perceived environmental demands or stressor as exceed a person's capacity to cope with them. The capacity to adapt to stress involves the brain, which perceives danger, the adrenal glands, which mobilize the body to fight it, the immune system, which provide the defense. People early in middle age tend to experience higher level of stress and more frequent stress than the other age group. So the third one is the late adulthood. We have the primary aging. Primary aging is a gradual, inevitable process of bodily deterioration that begins early in life and continues through the years, irrespective of what people do to stave off. Also, in secondary aging, it results from disease abuse, disuse factors that are often within a person control. These, okay, that will be my ano. Also, idagdag po na ako sa primary aging. Um, that begin in early in life. 'Di ba? Begin in early in life sa atong primary aging and continues po ni siya through the year irrespective of what people do to stave it off. Kanang in that view, aging is an unavoidable consequence of getting older. Sensory and psychomotor functioning. Vision and hearing in our late adulthood. Older eye need more light to see. Of course, makitaan ba nato sa ato ang mga lola nga kanang maglisod jud sila og basa or tanaw sa isa ka butang kung walay light. And then they are more sensitive to glare and have trouble locating and reading sign. Nay uban na magbasa na ipalayo kay makita nila nga layo sa ilaha, while nay uban ni magbasa sa isa ka kanang magazine man ang kasagaran ginakuha sa itong mga lola, kaya paduol na sa ilang mata aron makita nila with glasses na. Second one is the strength, endurance, balance, and reaction time. Adults generally lose about 10 to 20% of their strength up to age 70 and more. Of course, naatay mga grandparents nga ang uban is liski pa kaayo makabaktas pa, na di nga kanang makaabat-abat pa, ganun. Pero naapoy uban nga kanang dili na halos makatindog kay tungod kay nawala na ang ilang strength, nahini nagkawala ang ilang strength, endurance, balance. Sleep. Older people tend to sleep less and dream less than before. Makabantay mo sa atong mga grandparents nga kining mga grandparents nato is sayong mga mata. Kunya, dugay matulog. Sayong mga mata, hindi chika-chika din sila sa morning. Makabantay mo ana. Kay mao ay older people tend to sleep less and dream less than katong bata pa sila. Sexual functioning. Men are much more likely than women to remain sexually active in old age.
Good day, everyone. This is the part 6 of our report. Aging or senescence. Aging or senescence, this is the final stage of life. Yeah. It is focused on reflecting back on life, either feeling satisfied that life was well lived or regretting choice or missed opportunities. Physical changes normal aging. Example, any wrinkles are very normal part of getting older as is worsening eyesight, hearing, taste, touch, smell, metabolism, muscle, heart and arteries, bladder, body fat, bones, kidneys, lungs, and sexual health. Effects on the aging process. Another in diet, alcohol consumption, smoking, physical and mental activity, sexual health, social interaction, environment, sleep, and genes. Emotional changes of normal aging. Stress. So, kung kung magkatigulang na ang may mga emotional changes, una dari ang stress. Kay kung magkatigulang naman jud mga sensitive na kayo, so dali ra ma-stress. Negative sign of aging. Sa negative sign of aging, those who are unsuccess during this stage will feel that their life has been wasted and may experience many regrets, hopeless, and bitterness. So, sa stage of aging or senescence, mao ning mga common na ginabuhat nila, mao ni ang staying physical active, regular walks, engage in sport, dancing, gardening, interacting with grandkids. Ang sa staying emotionally active man, play music, visit a museum, complete photo albums, attend a concert, creative activities. Sa staying socially active maaning visit with friends, organize get-togethers, attend social clubs, go out for dinner, reads to kids. So this is the end of our report.